All right. Hello and welcome to Hello Governor the podcast. As always, I am Abdullah, and with me today is Alex Cazares. How you doing, Alex?
Hey, what's up?
Can you tell?
We're-
Can you tell that we're re-recording this? Can you tell?
no, you know what? We'll just do the same thing but better.
Okay, now seeing as we're re-recording this, I'll do the intro this time because the last time you did the intro, and I'm like,
Oh, was I supposed to? I'm
no, no, no,
sorry.
no,
That's
no.
what he was waiting for. Hey, I'm Alex Cazares. You might have heard me in Boss Baby Back in Business is your favorite baby, Stacy. Or maybe you heard me on the Casagrandes as your lovable little cousin that sometimes loses his choo-choo-chonies. Mama! Or you might have heard me as your friendly neighborhood grandma getting up to trouble and stuff. We're here to talk some tunes and hang out, and yeah, there's your intro. It was shit, but
Why'd you have to leave out Rebecca? Come on, your most
oh
popular
yeah, damn.
character.
Yo, 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 what's up, chums? How's it going? You need something? Yeah, you gotta put her in, right? It's not a party unless you do a Rebecca.
And of course, I mean I mentioned this before last time, but you voiced Oblina in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl, and that's like a huge deal for me as someone who grew up in the
Oh, thanks.
'90s.
Oh, me too. I loved Real Monsters. That was one of my favorite. You know how there was back when you watched television the old people way, the cartoons were in blocks, so you'd be like, I have this one and this one and this one to watch, and that was one I watched. But recently, when I was hired to do that, I got to revisit it all. I went out and got, or actually I typed and got the DVD for it. So, like the week before I had to go record, that's all I watched. And it's still funny. I think Charlie Adler's gosh, he's so good in it. They're all so good.
Yeah, I mean Charlie was in there, Christina Cavanaugh, and I forgot the
Of course.
Dave something or other did the eyeball guy. I forgot his name. So sorry. It's been forever, but
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, they were great. Wasn't what was the one with the big ear? Oh wait, that was Charlie too. Gosh, he's so good. I was gonna say, who's the purple one? It was him, huh?
Yep, Ickis. Yep.
Ickis, darling. Yes, that's right.
But I mean, and I'm glad we're redoing this because I legit forgot to ask you how did you get into this because and it's so weird because when we originally recorded this,
uh-huh.
we went on a lengthy discussion on the after show about how you got into voiceover, and I was like, damn it, this
Oh,
should have been on this show.
well, here's our second chance. I always have loved cartoons. You know, they were a comforting part of my childhood, and I didn't care really what I did. I just wanted to work in cartoons or animation or whatever. So I was determined. Didn't know what I was gonna do. I thought maybe the drawly part, and I went to school for animation, and doing that, we had really cool guest speakers. One of my professors was ho ho, hey pretty mama. Or it was Van Partible who did Johnny Bravo, and Van had the coolest people come in and talk to us because Hollywood was right there. Oh, I went to Loyola Marymount University for a while. That's really close to Los Angeles, and he'd have people like Charlie Adler was always over there and giving like speeches or talks and stuff. That was so cool. I think Rob Paulson came. He would bring in animators, he'd bring in voice actors, and my mind was completely blown. And I thought, you know what? I gotta go take a voiceover class, especially because you're making these little projects for school and you're trying to cast people for the voices, and it is a shit show. No one knows what they're doing. You don't know how to direct. You don't know how to voice act. You don't know how to set up the stuff. So I thought, oh, I'll go take a class. Hollywood's right down the street. So me and my roommate, we had this little voiceover directory book because it was sitting in our voice or in our animation labs, and we found Debbie Derryberry in the Valley, and I don't know if you know, but she voiced Jimmy Neutron, right? Plus tons of other cartoons. And we went and took a group class with her, and I really liked it. It was fun. It's kind of weird how you get into it. I didn't expect it. And then a lady from our class that was taking it with us, she's like, hey, my friend has this job, the Insectables that they're casting. They need a bunch of little boy voices and stuff. And I thought, what the hell? Let's go for it and see what happens. Cause I didn't expect anything. I just thought, what a cool experience. I'm gonna get to audition for a real cartoon. And then I got the job. I couldn't believe it. I got the job right kind of uh, it here, let me back up. I couldn't believe I got this job, and the first time I went in, what's Piot? Do you know Piot? You know his last name?
Piotr Michael.
Gosh, yeah, I was having a brain fart. Hey, Piot. Well, he was in there doing the voices, and that was my first ever job. The first experience I got to see like up close in a studio. It was at Bang Zoom, and Piot went first, and he was doing like a Ray Romano voice, and my mind was blown, and it was really cool. And then just whenever someone from one of the classes or could threw me a bone and was like, hey, audition, I would. And sometimes I would get the part. And then it kind of snowballed from there. I went on a huge rant. I hope I got everything in there.
Oh man, no, you're fine. I mean, look, I mean, I've said this before, but the episodes that I do the least amount of talking are the best ones because no one wants to hear from me.
That's not true. The back and forth is good. I get nervous. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I get nervous every single audition, or like when you go in person, I get nervous. When you do the interviews, I get nervous. So I'm a bit jittery when we start, and I drink the coffee.
No, but I mean, you have that what do you call it? Cartoonish energy. You know that hyperactive like kid energy. Then I think that's great because you're voicing a lot of children anyway, so it's like why not?
Yeah. A lot of times in cartoons, you want to. I mean, not all the time. I've noticed a lot on when you're getting auditions in, they'll say realistic, or you want to give a like a live action type read where they don't want it super cartoony, and then other times they'll be like, yeah, go wild, and those are always my favorite.
I mean, any show that lets the actors sound like cartoon characters is like automatically great in my book because I feel like, and I've told people this, like I feel like one of my biggest issues with the industry right now is like them trying to step away from the classic cartoony read, and I'm like, don't do that. It's there for a reason, you know.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I know though that like the BoJack Horseman style where they'll a lot of times get the on camera actors, and they're just kind of doing themselves, which is great. But I don't know, it's kind of I like it when it's a bit more spicy too.
Because because I'm in my mid 30s. I'm an ancient dinosaur at this point, and I like to go back to the old cartoons from the 90s and 80s and be like, man, I miss the days when people actually sounded like cartoon characters.
And they used to make a lot of cartoons too then. it was so cool, the variety and the weird stuff they made. I think now, oh, that wouldn't fly. They wouldn't make trash monsters in a trash heap scaring kids, or maybe they would, but it seems unlikely to me.
Yeah, because a lot of these shows are really, really weird when you think about them and you look at them and you're like, I don't like what are we even doing, guys? Come on.
The is it Klasky Scupo? Klasky Scupo? I always say it wrong,
Klasky
but
Chupo. Klasky Chupo.
Klasky Chupo. He what a weird style, right? But it defines my childhood. I loved all those cartoons, and I liked the look of them. They were so different and strange, and they were so not Disney. Just what a completely different way. And if you look too hard, they look kind of odd. But I love that kind of stuff. Did you ever watch Eliza Thornberry? Part
Oh
of your
man,
average family.
yeah, I mean I remember that show specifically because Tim Curry was just so amazing in that. Like every line that they gave him was just genius. Like never mind the show, just like watch any Nigel Thornberry compilation on YouTube and it's brilliant.
He's amazing. He is so amazing. And I didn't realize this till years later, till I was like a high schooler. But I couldn't believe that Donnie, I think, is played by Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Doing that. Right? Or am I tripping? Did I make that fact up? Let's see. Flea, what is it called? The Thornberries.
Wild Thornberries.
It was real. That is so cool. I always wonder, how did he get that audition? How did they know he could do all those weird noises? They felt so purposeful.
No, I think the thing that weirded me out was Tom Kane did the voice of Darwin on that show, and years later he would do the voice of Lord Monkey Fist on Kim Possible, and he would use the same voice, and it's just like that's just Darwin.
Oh, I don't remember. I vaguely remember that character, but I can't attach the voice to it. Gosh, it's been so long since I've seen it. I was watching them also when they came out.
No, but it's fun going back and listening to those old cartoons because you forget about because again, I mean it's easy to pick on streaming, I know, but bear with me. I think it's great that they're adding all these old shows on streaming because you can go back and watch them and be like, "Huh, this is a lot weirder than I remember it."
Oh yeah, for sure. I totally like that. And I think it's fun when they add to the library and you're like you said, go, "Oh, I forgot all about that. Let's try it out." I just wish I don't know how much you have talked about it in other interviews, but there's been like, the industry's been slow for everyone. And it's sad that they're not cranking out the cartoons anymore. That's all. I'd love it if they would keep adding to their streaming libraries.
Because I recently rewatched Quack Pack, and that is a weird show. That is like what is this?
That's the one with Donald and all of his nephews, right?
Yeah, it was the '90s version, and so it had to be
I like
garish and
that
weird.
one. Yeah, I love. You know what? I haven't seen it as an adult, that one particularly, so I'd have to go back and look. But I bet it was weird.
Because I'm good friends with Corey Burton, and I know that he did Ludwig von Drake on that show. And there's this one episode where where the boys steal one of his inventions, and he's sleepwalking, and he doesn't notice them, and he goes back to sleep, and then he realizes he wakes up and realizes like that they stole his invention, and he's like a giant milkshake, and I laughed so hard at that.
Oh, I'll have to go back and look. I loved the ones with the uncles and stuff. It was cool to see Donald's extended family. I thought that was really fun. But But I guess birds have a lot of family, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, you spend okay, this is a weird tangent, but do you ever spend a lot of time just looking at stuff online, reading wikis of shows that you have never watched in your life, but you just can't stop reading?
Oh, you know what? It usually for me to read about it, I have to be into it. But yeah. I'll go on investigations. That's not true. Okay, you know what? I take it back. I love to watch TV, and as I'm watching TV, I like to see who is playing and who the actor is. Then I like to look them up, and I like to see all the interesting things they've been in, and then I might read about their read about their other shows and see if I want to watch any more. So I guess I do that. Go internet. It's just an endless hole of information.
And now that we've got the pleasantries out the way, let's talk about your career in detail. Sorry, guys.
Sure. We like
uh,
cartoons.
Yeah. One of your, and speaking of cartoons and cartoonish children, one of your most popular characters is Carl Casagrande on the Casagrandes, and we gotta talk about Carl, guys. He's
Carl.
he's he's impossible to ignore. So, how did you get that role? And did you guys know that when you recorded it, did you know that you were getting a spinoff?
No, I thought that was like a one and done, maybe another. Or it was at the very beginning of my career, and yeah, kind of pretty much in the beginning. And I had just booked Boss Baby as well. So I had these two huge things, and I couldn't freaking believe it. But like what was cool about it is that the voice director was the same for both of them. It was Lisa Schaefer, so I felt really kind of comfortable going from here to here. You know what I mean? Because I'd start to know her. But oh, how did I get it? I auditioned for tons of the Loud House characters. I still remember all those auditions going around, and I went out for like the Lola and all of them. But I later on I ended up auditioning for Carl, and they had us in just because Ronnie Ann got popular. Miguel Puga, you know about that, where he like she's his character kind of, and she became a lot bigger than they thought. They're like, this girl needs a family. Let's do a one-off funny show. And I went in and I did it really like heartthrobbing because that's how they wrote him at first, and they laughed, and I got the job. And I we went in a few times, but like I said, I didn't really expect much because they weren't the main family. They were just visiting or something, and it what a wonderful thing to have spiraled into something bigger. It was amazing, and it was so much fun to work on. I got to work with some of my heroes like Carlos Alazraqui. Oh my god. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I've interviewed Carlos a couple of years ago, and I did actually talk to him about the Casagrandes getting canceled, and I asked him like, were you disappointed that that show got canceled? And he's like, look, man, a lot of these shows, that's the nature of the business. Like, you can't get too hung up on it, otherwise it'll drive you insane.
I know. Oh my gosh. That was one of them that I was like, if they're, come on, bring us back. They're going to realize their mistake and bring us back. And then I realized, oh, that's really not how it happens, maybe in 20 years, but not now. Yeah, I've had to learn to let that go too. I was also really disappointed when the Mighty Ones ended over at DreamWorks. Or you know what? Strike that. I'm always bummed when all of them end. I hate it.
But you guys came back for the Casagrandes movie, which I think, and I said this before, I do think that the movie is a little bit better than the series because they went on to they focused more on the magical aspects.
Mm.
and I kind of like that a little bit more. I'm sorry, don't get mad at me, Miguel Puga.
No,
You're
no.
great, but
I can understand where you're coming from. I think it would have been cool. That's just a different show. They need to make that now. I think it would have been cool if maybe Ronnie Ann's world was more consistently magical. That would have been awesome. But I think they wanted the family to fit in I thought at least. I think they wanted them to fit in seamlessly with the Louds so they could do lots of crossovers and stuff like that. So that's probably why they didn't go so outlandish, but I'm talking out my butt. I don't know.
and do you have any funny stories during your time on the Casagrandes?
Let me see. Oh, so Leah Gold, she was Sid, right? Her and I, one of the days, I was noticing that there are so many cool couches around Nickelodeon, and they're all colored different, funny, funky patterns. And I was talking to Leah. She used to like making YouTube videos. And I said, you know what? We should go around and we should rate all the chairs. So the next time I went to work, I brought whiteboards, and we went around and filmed each other, and we sat in every chair and we'd rate them and be like 6 out of 10, and that was a fun day. But it was never released. I always I want to record stuff and then for the internet, but then I always am like, this is stupid. Nah. So that was a fun day. Oh, when I first got there, I was so nervous. Where your legs, they feel wobbly. I don't get that much anymore, that feeling, but I was terrified. And you go into the Nickelodeon studio, boop boop boop, and then you go into the recording room and you stand behind the glass, and all the other people used to be on the other side of the glass looking at you. And I remember trying to I tried to I tried to pick my podium far away from Carlos because he made me so nervous. I was so scared. I didn't want to, mess up in front of him. And I I tried to move away, and as they solidified kind of where each person was going to be, where they wanted us all, I ended up having to sit next to him anyway. So me running away didn't matter. And then I got over it, and he was a great guy, and oh my gosh, so talented. But I think that's funny that when you try to run away from something and then, they end up putting you right there anyway, and you got to face it anyhow.
It's like, don't put me next to Carlos. Don't put me next to Carlos.
Dang it! Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but he's a very talented guy, and I think we talked about this in the original recording. But I
And
think
nice.
yeah, very nice guy. But I think we talked about this in the original recording. He did a lot of characters on that show, and one of my favorite characters was Breakfast Bot. I don't know why, but it was great.
Oh, I like Breakfast Bot. That was fun. I liked all those inventions and stuff. I think I liked Sergio, though. He was such a jerk. No, Carl, you suck. I love to see Carl and Sergio get beat up, or get their comeuppance. You know what I mean? They always deserved it.
Yeah, because people do not like Sergio, and I'm one of those guys. I just don't like
Oh,
Sergio.
he's so naughty. I always like the naughty characters, though.
But it is a lot of fun for to hear him still be on Nickelodeon and do all these characters, because he voiced a lot of characters on the show. Like, he was the dad, he was Sergio, he was Vito, he was Breakfast Bot. It's
Oh,
crazy.
Vino Filiponio. Yeah. Well, gotta spread the talent around. It was so amazing. In the end, I think they ended up having him like in one of the isolation booths. I don't know why, but I was still next to him. But for a while, he was in the main booth with us. And then it's happened to me before, too. You know, they put you in there, whatever. But he was always in another little glass box to our left, a box within a box. I think, too, like everyone wants to chatter and make noises. It helps eliminate some of it. Or maybe he was the noisy one.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't do that for Fairly Odd Parents because he screams a lot as Crocker on that show, and I'm just like, well, how did you do that without like tearing your throat?
Yeah. Fairly Odd Parents. Or no, wait. Fairies, not Fairly Odd Parents. Yeah. They just brought that one back, huh? I haven't seen any of that, but it looked cute. I loved Fairly Odd Parents. I thought that was great when I was little.
And you got to work with Carlos as well, so I mean that's full circle moment.
Oh yeah, I was stoked. I was I really loved Rocco's Modern Life, and when I heard him do that, you're like, "What? What? That comes out of you?" It's amazing.
And while
He
we're
also oh, go ahead.
no, you go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no. I just thought of something kind of funny. I don't think I ever said this before, but when I drive into Los Angeles for work, I lived pretty far away. I lived there like for several years, but I had to move away for family reasons, and I always bring my mom for carpool and stuff because if not, traffic's hell. And I don't know if you have this, but even though I wanted her to come with me, I was also intensely embarrassed that I brought my mom to work. So I'd make her sit in the other room. And one day Carlos was walking by, going into the main recording area. And he's like, "You're Alex's mom. Why are you out here?" And he brought her into the main area with me, and he's like, "Get over it, Alex. It's okay to be embarrassed." And he told me kind of a story. I think this is how it went, that his mother, whenever he can tell when she's talking about him, and she'll call him over and make him do a voice too. Like, "Okay, show him you're the Taco Bell dog. Go. Come on. I've been talking about you and I want you to perform." And I think he said that it kind of feels embarrassing at first, but you just have to get over it. That's your parent.
Yeah, because there's always going to be people who are like, you do this for a living, and it's like you explain to them like, "Oh, I'm the voice of so and so," and they're like, "Prove it, prove it."
I won't say it, but my mom will. She'll be over there, like if we're out doing something. I love her and I know she's very proud of me, and that's why she talks about it. But you can tell she's over there talking about me. She's over there talking about voiceover about me. Do I really want to go over there? Oh God, because not that I don't want to talk to people. It's just I'm shy, and I have to get over that fear every single time. And then you go over and you're like, "Yeah, okay, I'm a baby, I'm a little boy," and you go through the whole thing, and then it's over. But then it makes your mom happy. But yeah, it's embarrassing.
And while we're on the subject of Nickelodeon, I mentioned when we started that you voiced Oblina in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl. How did that whole thing come about?
Well, they sent out the audition for a voice match, and Gosh, I didn't think I was gonna get it because I just don't expect much for myself. And I thought though you have to try anyway. The agent, they sent me the audition. It I can at least go for it and they can decide if they want to send it or not. And then they ended up calling me back for it and they liked it. And they wanted me in like the next day. And I said, whoa, 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 whoa. I cannot go in the next day. Would you please give me a little bit of studying time? And they did. And like I said, I studied the hell out of it. And mostly it just means I watch it a lot. And I kind of, you have to be like a little kid again. You got to repeat after the character. You got to try to say it. You got to try to say other things, but still sound like the character. And then when I went in, it it seemed to work out. I still didn't believe that I should be there, but they kept it. I figure, well, at least they'll pay me and then they'll just get someone else to do it. But then they kept me, so I guess I did okay. And the director ended up being happy that I studied because, like I said, you might be able to do the catchphrases, but you have to get into their you have to be the character a little bit more than that because they're going to give you lines that you can't copy. You have to make the original. And yeah, so it's a scary thing to do voice matches. I'm not like an expert like Piotr.
Yeah, I mean that man is a chameleon. Like I'm just like every role that he's done, I'm shocked that that's him. I'm like that can't be him. And then I look at the credits and it's like Piotr Michael. I'm like, no way, get out of here.
Dude is everywhere. Yeah. I'm very honored that he was the first like live voiceover artist I saw at a studio. It was so cool. But when I found out he played Pop Pop in it's Pop Pop, right? Or the grandpa in the Loud House movie that I worked on, and it was awesome. I saw him at the party. Hey, Piotr.
And that's a perfect segue into No Time to Spy. As you came in to do the scratch for Myrtle because Jennifer Coolidge was busy, but then they're like, wait a minute,
Probably
Jennifer's
doing the Lotus.
yeah. And then they're like, wait a minute, Jennifer Coolidge
She's
is
a
way too
hot
busy.
commodity.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't tell me that officially, but I'm pretty sure that's why. It was super fun though to work on. Like I said, it was unexpected. I just went in to do some scratch, and that's if I'm sure all you animation fans know what scratch is. Yeah, you're just doing you're doing some basic voiceover before they get the real star in. So that's all I really expected out of it. And I've always, since my agency has known me, or I've always done something like this. It was a voice that I would walk around and harass my mom with. I like it, Mom. I don't like, just it was something that I did all the time to be stupid. So I remembered Nickelodeon calling or talking to Heather when I got it, going, "Oh, she's been training for this one all her life." so, so it was a lot of fun, and it felt good to finally get to use the voice and get paid for it, or like when you get a job with that weird thing you do, you're like, oh, it must have been pretty good.
Yeah, because I think I read an interview with Michael Rubiner and someone else that they had said like, because Jennifer Coolidge was busy filming White Lotus, we couldn't get her in, and but Alex is great. Don't anybody sleep on her. She's great,
Oh, that's nice of him. Yeah. It was fun too. I got to work with Lisa again, and it's some directors, might make you suffer a bit, but Lisa always gets right to it, and it's easy and fun. I don't know if you know what I mean. Just sometimes you click with certain directors and it's easy.
I mean, it's not like the '80s where all the Transformers voice actors had to deal with like 18-hour Wally Burr sessions.
Oh, I heard too, like, did they ever pass out or was that Dragon Ball? It was probably Dragon Ball, never mind.
Yeah, man. I mean, let's just say, like, back in the '80s, as Wally Burr was like a notorious director. He was a notorious perfectionist, and he would like constantly let his actors repeat
Do
the
it
same line.
again!
Yeah, it would make them repeat the same line over and over and over again until one day Michael Bell
Yeah.
was just like, you know what, I've had enough of this, and he just like read him the riot act and said, look, we love you, we respect you, but we don't need to be doing like 10 takes of like the same line when you could just get it in two.
Oh, I see. I see. Yeah, there are some people that are perfectionists, but you know what? I just figure when you do have a voice director like that, I just think, you know what? This is their time. They're paying me for this. So just freaking do it and go do something stupid or fun later, but you're at work now. If they take up every minute of the time that they paid for, I'll do it again and again and again. It makes me feel nervous though, like why can't I hit the mark? I'm circling the drain, but I can't fucking stick it. So sometimes too I'll just be like, "Can you just give me a read?" And then I'll copy them and then they'll be like, "Move on." Yeah, yeah. I don't care if they give me a read. Just as long as we get the product that they want.
Okay, you're probably the first person I've ever talked to who's like, I don't mind if they give me a line read, because normally everyone else is like, fuck no, I'm not doing line reads.
I am an actor. No, I don't care. I know at first when I first worked in voiceover, one of the shows I got was Glitter Force, and that it's a really big franchise from Japan, and I was a bit aware of it, and I always liked anime, and I would be so worried over every line, like this line I'm making history. I mean, it's gonna be this way. When they look at the DVD, it's gonna be this way. And I would really agonize over, each thing. And then you realize they're like, yep, that's good. Uh-huh. Move on. Yeah, we got it. I realized more, or at least I feel like I'm able to say this is a product. We're just making the product. I love doing it. It's so much fun, and I get to be a little kid and do all this fun stuff. But if they're not getting the read from me and they want to make it, or they want to give me it specifically, fuck it. I'll do it.
And speaking of anime
Like
dubbing,
Simon says.
yeah, I mean, and speaking of anime dubbing, how did you take to it? Was it easy? Was it hard?
Whew. Uh, I was working on this one called Limon and Ollie. I can't remember. It was the very first dub I ever did, and it was so bad. I mean, not like the show was bad, but the situation sucked because I didn't know what I was doing. I can't remember what language it was translated from. I think it was, I don't know. It was a different language other than Spanish or Japanese, and they would send these huge like the translation was either overwritten or underwritten, so the people who were working on the show had to fix it right there to make it match the flaps, you know what I mean? Like there'll be a big block of writing and maybe the character in English just says, "Hey guy," but if the character is still flapping away, they got to fix it and write it in. So I was learning how to do it while they were rewriting it, and it was really hard. And I just thought I was doing awful. And then the next one I got, I felt like I figured it out. It was Glitter Force with with that huge rad cast, and I think they had been looking for a voice that didn't sound like all the other girls. I think they had gone through a couple glitter pieces, and when they would mix everyone together, it would all just kind of blend in cuz the girls had the same type of voice, you know what I mean? And Debbie Derryberry was like, "Hey, my student Alex might fit your bill. Can she submit for this?" And I did, or I think I emailed them, "Hey, or I'm so and so, Debbie sent me blah blah blah." I didn't hear anything back because they were probably like, "This amateur." But they were still looking for the character. They hadn't casted it yet. And I think Debbie threw me another bone and was like, "Try this girl. Give her the audition." I got the audition. I did it. They took a chance on me, and I remembered the owner of the studio. It was Studiopolis. Jamie was like, "Yeah, okay. Can you come back tomorrow?" So I was like, "Yeah, okay, sure." I left. I had to get up really early because I lived really far away to get there at 9 a.m. And I started working on Glitter Force with Jamie and Mary Elizabeth and all those other amazing actors. I didn't meet them in person because, anime's it's kind of a solitary thing, but it was kind of a dream come true. And I felt Mary was such a good voice director, and she was pretty kind to me about learning the ropes because there's some things you just have to do over and over to get better at. Someone can tell you how to do it, but you're not gonna get any better until you can kind of, like hitting a baseball.
And
Mary
what
was so. Oh, go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
mean, no, I mean, yeah, I mean, Mary Elizabeth McGlynn, just such a phenomenal director, and just she knows how to get the best performance out of any actor because she trusts her actors, and I think that more directors should trust their actors. Just saying.
Oh, wow. Yeah, she's great. She also was on Bugs Bunny Builders, so I got to work with her on that for a while too as Petunia. That was pretty cool. But, that's a different beast than dubbing.
And when you're dubbing, do you look at the script do you look at the script or screen?
Both. When it's action and there's no words, you look at the screen, you might chase it. But if it's a big block of text, I can't remember it. A lot of these you see them, or you see this big block of text, and then as soon as you get through it, you never see it again. So there's not much time for memorization. But if it's a small enough sentence, you might look at the screen instead. But I don't know, there's kind of a balance of, you got to get the timing in your head, and you're kind of looking in the corner of your eye as you're reading. I don't know. It just happens. It's magic.
You just like do a line and then you're like, oh, we got it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We got it. But I didn't look at
Oh,
the. No, we got it. Don't worry about it.
oh man, sometimes with dubbing, just they can't just give you a line read. You got to make it fit. So sometimes you'll just do it over and over and over again, and sometimes they'll rewrite it so it works better. But it's like doing a puzzle. Got to make it fit for it to work. Got to look good, and whew, it can be hard.
And so, while we're on the subject of anime, let's talk about your most popular character, Rebecca from
Yo!
Cyberpunk.
Oh yeah. Oh, she's been a blast, and I'm pretty darn grateful I got her when I did. I I love Trigger. I couldn't believe that I got on it, and it's been such a cool experience. I get to meet lots of people. I got lots of interviews and conventions, and I get to talk video games when I go to the conventions, and it's been awesome.
And were you surprised that her character was the breakout character of that show?
Yeah, yeah. I thought it was gonna be. I just. I guess when you first get on the show, they didn't tell me much. You got these badass characters. There was only so many episodes, so I assumed that many of them would die. And I just didn't expect much. I thought she was cool, but I didn't know how long she was going to be in the game. So who would have known that people would have thought she was fun?
Because I remember like when the show aired, she got like the most fan art, and most people were like, who does the voice of Rebecca in English? She's great."
Oh, that's so cool. I was really proud of that one. Well, the voice director was Wendy Lee, so we had some anime royalty on there. Um it was cool. I think it's such a trip. I see a few chicks dressed up as Rebecca. I'll see or I'll see dudes as Davids, and I cannot believe that she's that popular that someone would want to make a costume, because I know how much time and effort goes into it. It's awesome.
And I know you get asked this a lot, but we gotta ask it. What's your favorite line or moment from Cyberpunk?
Ah, gosh. I love them all. I really like the part where you know, the party part's really cool, where she's like, is this nagging old hag bringing you down, David? You really need a new dance chip. I thought that was cool. I love whenever she uses the slang. Oh, and I like when she's with Falco too. How she'll be like, "You don't deserve that cool cowboy stash." I thought it would have been so cool if she. Can I give a spoiler?
It's
If we
it's
had here, I'll just. It's
it
been 3 years. If we have a sequel, I thought it would have been really rad to have a buddy type one with Falco and Rebecca, because I like both of those characters so much. Screw David. He picked the wrong girl.
and speaking of Falco, have you gotten a chance to meet Matt Mercer at some point, or have you not gotten that opportunity?
Oh, I've met him twice. Once in person and one not in person. I do a charity every year called Fallout for Hope. Gosh, if I get that wrong, I'm really dumb. I do it every year with a group of Fallout 7 or people that play the Fallout video game and voice actors on there, and we do like skits and games and radio plays. So I'm pretty sure I got to do a couple uh scenes with him. I think I played Little Red Riding Hood. He played the big bad wolf in one. I can't remember. I think we also did a Fast Times at Ridgemont High scene together. Well, I was in it. I can't remember if he was. I played a lady that we changed up her voice. I was like, is this a hot dog? I don't know. It was fun though. So I met him there, and then a couple days later, or watch, I don't know my time. It was probably months. After that, I got to meet him in person at Nickelodeon. He was doing something extra secret, and um, one of the voice directors or voiced casting directors over there at Nick was like, "Have you met Matt?" And I was like, "No." And then I went, "Yeah." So I met him again.
It's like you're the critical role guy.
I never really was into that because I didn't know where to start. There's so much of it. But I loved him as Falco. I love him in like everything he's done that I notice him in. So I can't wait to like give actually the Critical Role stuff a listen to.
I mean, just watch the animated stuff that they put out, and you'll be up to date pretty much.
Oh, yeah, maybe I should. Sometimes I think it's good to watch the cartoons you're trying to audition for, right? Then you get the feel of the show.
And another thing that you worked on recently was Wild Pack, and that show was co-created by Kyle Marshall, who worked on the Loud House. And I'm kind of wondering, like, seeing as you also worked on the Loud House, was there a connection between those two shows?
Oh, yeah, he totally was like, you should try Alec, or listen, or I feel like he gave me a good review, or a good, she's pretty good at Myrtle. You might like her for for this show too. So I got a good recommendation from him, for depth. We had just gotten done working on the Loud House movie together, and I basically hopped right over to the Wylde Pak after. And it I a lot of the same people, work on the shows and stuff, or are friends, and I got lucky.
Yeah, I mean that's talking about classic Nickelodeon shows. I really love that show because it's such a throwback to that era where it has that ugly but cutesy art style, and I'm like, and it's very experimental with its humor, and I'm like, I want more of this. This is really good.
I hope they make more. Come on, Nickelodeon gods, make more. I think it might have won an award, or it was nominated for an award recently. So, I hear good things about it, which is freaking awesome. Make more cartoons. And it was really fun to play Debs. I've been wanting to do one with a lisp for a long time that talks really, 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 really fast, and there she is.
And you also did. I didn't even know this until like recently. You also were on an episode. Were you on an episode? I think you were in a couple episodes of Bleach, the new one, Thousand Year Blood War. That's I had no idea that was you.
I think I played, gosh, I can't remember the dude's name because he died like instantly. But I was like an evil thingy or whatever. Sometimes they hire me over at Studiopolis to do old ladies or old people. I don't remember if that character was a man. I think he was a man, but I can't remember if we did any like pitch, or if they changed the pitch of my voice or anything, but it was a lot of fun. The voice director on it, or the person I was working with that day, I had worked on a ton of projects with at Studiopolis, like Zozo Zombie, Glitter Force, and just tons of them. So it's always fun when you're working with your friend and they are like, "Hey, you know who can do a creepy old person? Alex." So that's how I got that one.
But that's the best feeling in the world when you have someone be like, "Hey, you know who'd be great to voice this really disgusting monster, Alex."
Me? Oh, yeah. Typecast me, baby. I don't care. Just give me work.
And do you watch or play any of the stuff you're in, or can you not stand listening to yourself?
I used to really not like it. It still kind of makes me cringe just a little bit because you're your own biggest critic. But my mom lives with me, and if I am in something new, she's like, "No, I'm watching it. You can go in the other room, but I'm gonna watch it." So I kind of had to get over it because she'll put it on. When the last season of, or when like Boss Baby would come out, and let's say her and I were going shopping or whatever, she'd say, "I have to leave the cartoon on for the dog. He likes it." He hears your voice. I guess it doesn't, I don't know if it count. I've played Fallout 76. I'm in it a little bit. I'm one of the people that gives you your really annoying missions and stuff. and she kind of almost gets the player killed, and it's good fun. But I love that video game. And you get to have a headset, and you get to talk to other people in the world that are also playing Fallout 76, and it's a lot of fun. I like that. I don't think anyone's ever known that I am Rose in it, because I'm not saying those lines, but I've just played with random people in the little universe they created. I played the Cyberpunk video game, but that's not with Rebecca. You can like go into her apartment, I think her brother's apartment, and check it out. And you can get her gun, which is really cool and super powerful. So I've done that, but yeah, sometimes I play.
It's one of those things where it's like, if you have time, you'll play the stuff you're in, but most of the time it's like, I don't know, I don't know, Chief.
Yeah, it's really not that. I love video games. I've always loved video games, but it's mostly whatever I'm into at the moment. I don't fight it. Like they just did some Animal Crossing update, so I've been on that for a bit. I loved Baldur's Gate. I played that a few times. It's just, if I'm into it, I play it. And sometimes they'll send me the game if you've worked on it. They don't give you a Netflix free Netflix account, but sometimes video games will send you the video game. And I'm like, yeah, let's see it. And if they blow your mind and they're awesome, play it.
Yeah, that's why I'm so jealous of the people who work on video games and they get copies, and I'm like, can I work on something so I can get it for free?
It's not all of them. They don't do that for all of them. Just now and then. That happened for Fallout 76, but I had to go out and buy the Cyberpunk game. But it was cool. I had just got off the show, and I was, I was into it. I wanted to hear more about the world or live in the world a little longer. So you get to play the video game, and they've captured it in the cartoon so well. Like you're going across a crosswalk, and they like in the game it goes, "Don't walk," or "Walk, walk," or something like that. And they do that in the cartoon. So cool. I love that. But yeah. I also like the RPG game. Yeah.
It's funny that you're like, oh, I've never watched Critical Role, but I've played a lot of Baldur's Gate.
My friend really loves D&D and all that, and I finally knew what she was talking about. Like rolling dice, and I'm a mage, or I'm a warrior, or I'm a paladin. I didn't know what that was, but now I'm a bit more savvy. And there was vampires. Oh my god, I don't know if you interviewed anyone on that show, but Astarion, breakout character. Whew, so funny. So I had to play a few times just so I could, hear all the voices again and again.
Oh man, Neil is amazing, and I'm so happy that he's become such a big breakout star because he's just so talented, and yeah.
What a cool character. I recently, on my video game list, I was on Amazon and some Star Trek video game popped up, so I don't even know anything about it. That's what I'm going to play next.
It's whatever. Star Trek, Star Wars, whatever. I'll play whatever.
Yeah. I also got a Vampire the Masquerade game on my desk. I need to poke around too. It just is fun to do fun things. And I don't spend a whole lot of time on video games, but whenever the mood catches me, I play. And then I burn myself out, and then I leave it for a year.
Oh, I'm terrible with that, where it's I'm I want to play this, but do I have time to play this? Because once you reach a certain age, you're just I don't have the time nor patience for this anymore.
What am I doing with my life? Yeah, I feel the same way. Have one of those about every day now.
Yeah, it's especially jarring when it's like, I really want to play this, but I'm like, but then I think about it more and I'm like, okay, when do I get the time to play it? Can I make time for this? Can I, maybe not.
You know what though? The way I justify it is it's for work. You gotta hear it for work. Gotta play a little bit for work. You too. I mean, it's for work. You gotta know what you're interviewing about.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like sometimes I'll cheat and I'll just like go on YouTube and watch cutscenes, when I don't have the time to play a game.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, I try not to do that anymore if I really like the game, but I get that, sometimes that's what gets you into the game.
And sometimes, if it's a game I really am hyped for, I'll just watch the trailer on loop. I watched the Wolverine trailer on loop for a couple days now, and I'm like, when is this coming out? It looks amazing.
Ooh, Wolverine! Ooh, I might have to play that too.
Because I'm like a huge X-Men fan, and I'm like, oh, I mean, and I'm a huge Wolverine fan. I've been ever since I was a kid. Remember as a kid wearing a Wolverine costume and running around. I
Oh,
just
that's
love
so funny.
I just
That's
love
cool.
that
I love
character.
Me too. I really liked him too. I remember when that first X-Men movie came out. I didn't really keep up with the new ones, but I was the right age for it to just completely enamor me. And I loved going to the comic book store and getting Wolverine comics, even if they were out of order. I didn't care. I just wanted a new one. I loved it. I love it too. I think I even played I think there was a PlayStation game or a PS1 or 2 Wolverine game I played where you escape a facility or something.
Oh, me and my cousin remember playing that. It was X2 Wolverine's Revenge, which had nothing to do with the movie. It was just called X2 because they're like, oh, it'll sell more if people think it's a tie-in game, but it's not a tie-in game. And it's like,
Oh
whatever.
god, I didn't care. I liked it and I thought it was cool how he slashed. I'm Wolverine.
Do you know who voiced Wolverine in that game?
I can't remember that. I know now Steve Bloom has taken over pretty much, right, for Wolverine.
Yeah,
I
and
can't, I can't
I mean,
remember the.
this is gonna blow your mind, but Mark Hamill voiced Wolverine in that game. There you go.
Really? Wow, he's so good. That was way before I didn't even have a laptop then, so there was no googling. That's really awesome though, cuz I would have never guessed and I watched his Batman show.
Because I remember as a kid watching a lot of behind the scenes footage and they were talking about the voice acting and it's like Mark Hamill is Wolverine and I'm like that's a weird casting choice. But then you listen to it and it's like, huh, it's not that bad. It's corny but not that bad.
Little kid me didn't care. I didn't even notice. I always hated it though when like in for instance in Disney movies, like when you'd have the actor, the big actor would be in the movie and then they would change, to the voice actor in the cartoon, but it used to piss me off when I was little. I'd be like, "That's not the real one. He doesn't sound like that." So for those I'd notice, like the genie and stuff like that, but uh, Wolverine didn't cross my mind.
Because a lot of people have played him over the years, so it doesn't really bother me that much. But when it comes,
Oh,
but when it comes to something like the genie from Aladdin, that's always going to be Robin Williams. I mean, I don't care. Like other people can voice that character, but it'll never be the same because Robin Williams is that character.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I always was. I wish now that they would just hire the voice actor and then have the voice actor do the movie and the show, but that won't happen. But yeah, exactly. His performance was so wonderful and endearing that there was just no topping that. I
Yeah.
watched that cartoon though too.
Oh man, the Aladdin cartoon was great. I mean, you had
Yeah.
like a lot of great. You had Mosenrath. That was a great villain. You had Mirage, voiced by Babe Newirth. I mean, that's come on, it's great.
Lots of magic and yeah, it was great. They used to make really or used to. I'm saying used to cuz I don't watch as many cartoons like that anymore. Um but I used to really like their spin-off cartoons, like the Little Mermaid one as well.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore. It's kind of weird because I figured like wouldn't it make sense to do a spin-off of like Moana or Zootopia or whatever, but they just don't do that. Same thing with Incredibles. I'm like, Incredibles is like the perfect dropping off point for like a tie-in series, but they just never did that for whatever reason.
Yeah. They did a Tangled series for a while, right? I didn't see it, but I think I heard of it. I always wondered why they didn't do more of that cuz it just lets you be in that universe longer.
Yeah, because as a kid, I'm like, I loved Aladdin, and I just wanted more Aladdin. And then they're like, "Oh, we're making a TV show." Okay, cool. Sure, the animation is terrible, but I didn't care. It was a more Aladdin.
Yeah. I know. He was such a cool character. And that was probably yeah, between that one and the Little Mermaid one, I really really liked it and I think gosh, if they brought it back now, I think it'd still do good just cuz people still watch those movies.
And while we're on the subject of like Disney movies, what's your favorite Disney movie?
Gosh, what a question. Well, I really like Aladdin. Ah, God, that's so hard. I like different ones for different reasons. I always really loved The Lion King, but all those songs you can't really beat. They're so good. I liked Aladdin because she had the tiger and the carpet, and it was, who doesn't want to ride on a magic carpet ride? Uh, One of the newer ones, I guess is not really newer, but I loved the animated Lilo and Stitch movie. That one was so cute. I think I loved that one because of the Hawaiian background. Like those backgrounds are really amazing. It looks like Hawaii. So I guess I'd say for now we'll do Lion King and Lilo and Stitch.
Oh man, I
What
was
about
like,
you? Which one's your favorite?
oh man, it's a tough question because as a kid, I used to watch Aladdin a lot, Lion King, and Hercules a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, shut up! I take it back. Hercules. That one was my favorite. Oh my god, I had all the Hercules stuff. Oh, that was a good one, huh?
I mean that was my introduction to Greek mythology, and I'm like, look, man, I know it's not accurate, but I don't care. It's a fun movie. Let me have fun.
Right? Right. Did you like the animated series too? There was another good one. Was drawing a blank. That was great.
Yeah, and not to brag, but my good buddy Corey Burton was Zeus on that show, so there you go.
Woo! That's awesome. Yeah, I've always really liked Greek mythology after that too. Plus, all the songs are amazing. See, it's hard for me to choose because back then I watched all those things on loop, They were all kind of special in their own way and when there was a new one, that's all I watched over and over again, which probably isn't great, but I had we had the VHS and I had my own rewind thing and I liked watching things on repeat. So I feel like a lot of these shows I spent the same amount of time obsessing over. Loved Mulan. I loved Hercules. Oh my god, I loved Hunchback of Notre Dame too for a while. It just depended on which princess or which girl I wanted to dress up as that week or month.
Yeah, man. I mean, the Disney Renaissance was just such a magical time, and it's one of those things where you just had to be there, because it's one of those things where I think we'll never experience again because of the way we consume media now. It's just a totally different landscape, and it makes me so sad because it's like, watching these movies on VHS on a loop made me appreciate animation as a medium, and we just don't have that anymore. It makes me sad.
Yeah, another thing I've realized I do that I try not to do anymore as much is I realize I'm watching TV and I'm not paying attention. I'm watching it, but I'm also scrolling or doing something else. And it makes it so I am only, you don't really know what's going on. I should watch and see what they're doing. That's their body language and the way they move is part of it too. I'm not listening to a radio show, but I've noticed that the I'm a slave to the screen a lot of the times until I say stop, enjoy the movie or don't watch it.
Yeah, it's tough for me as well because especially when I'm a fan of something and I want to like take notes of it and I open up another tab and I'm like, don't do that. Just like watch the movie, it's fine. You can
Yeah,
just
like when you were little. Just put the shit down and watch next to the screen like I did.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's so frustrating like, how our attention spans have just gotten like really really lower because of we're just so used to screens. It's just so much screens, and if you're not looking at a computer screen, you're looking at a monitor, and if you're not looking at a monitor, you're looking at a phone. And I just hate this.
Yeah.
I'm just like, ugh.
I know. I used to be a big book reader and I don't do it anymore. I scroll. So I'm trying to stop because I don't get as much enjoyment as I did when I read, but I still, would prefer to scroll because it's easy. Ooh, a cat. Ooh, a dog. Ooh, an actor I never knew about before but was in a movie I liked. Oh, there's the guitarist from Metallica. All those shorts, they eat up your time. My time.
Oh man, don't go on TikTok because you'll be there for like hours.
I purposely didn't make a TikTok account because I knew it would be the end of me. Because even just YouTube will trap me a bit.
Oh man, it's the same thing with YouTube now, where like, I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna watch this video, and it's like a 10-minute video, and then I just like stop it midway through, and I'm like, God damn it, can you just like not watch like a 10-minute video or a 6-minute video? Like, what's happened to you?
I know what I'm a monster. It's also I feel like a lot of times the videos on YouTube have gone down in quality. You can tell when it's AI because they don't say anything. They say, I am going to tell you this thing that is amazing. In a moment, I will explain to you this amazing thing. They tell you it's great, but then they don't actually tell you the thing because they want you to watch for so long, and maybe I should just get a book.
Yeah, man. I mean, as the older I get, the more I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to the bookstore and just buy a bunch of books and then just like look at those for an hour or two.
Yeah. I used to like going into bookstores though, and the smell and I think a lot of the rituals that made me happy just kind of disappeared with the invention of everything 2-day delivery on Amazon, and you don't even have to buy the book, you just download it, and it takes away some of those things that you won't get unless you physically move your body and go out and go to the bookstore or something.
And I miss that feeling of like buying a book and breaking its spine. That's like was such an accomplishment in my younger years because I used to read a lot more than I do now. And I look at my old copies and the books are just like the spines are broken because I just read them a lot, and I'm just like, oh man, I
Ooh,
miss
you
that.
like that one. Yeah. Maybe this year for my resolution, I'm going to try to scroll less and read more books, cuz not because, you should read more, because I genuinely it made me really happy. It's great to get to picture it all in your head and stuff, and I'd love to be addicted to that and not random internet videos that don't matter.
Yeah, but at the same time, I do like some of the stuff that people are putting out on social media. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, so everything is on social media is terrible and blah blah blah. But
No,
because
no,
I
no.
like
The problem is I like it too much. You can endlessly find I love rock and roll and I love music history. So it just there is a tunnel, a never-ending tunnel now on YouTube for that. But I don't know. I don't know if it makes me any happier though than reading, but I do like it. I do like to see that kind of stuff. There's just too much. There's too much of everything.
yeah, and sometimes it's like, oh, I don't want to read. I'll just listen to the audiobook, and the audiobook is like 7 hours long. I'm like, oh God.
Yeah, yeah. I audiobooks are I like them. They're really it's cool when you get a good voice actor and they change their voice and stuff. I really think that's amazing. But I usually just do those in the car.
Because I mean, I'll be honest, like I wanted to listen to Alison Stoner's memoir on audiobook because they've done voiceover and they're a prominent voiceover artist, and they did not disappoint. That was a great audiobook, probably like one of my favorite
That
audiobooks ever.
that's awesome. I think it's cool when they read their own as well, huh? It's kind of fun to hear it from the author's actual voice. But I do like it when they set it up like a radio play. That's the coolest.
Oh man, that's another thing I miss. I miss radio plays. That's another thing. It's like, oh, I mean, I know there's a lot of narrative podcasts out there, but they're just not the same. You listen to like the old Orson Welles hours and the old like Gary Owens stuff. It's like night and day difference. Like the narrative podcasts, which wish they were that good.
Oh, I get to do that sometimes on Fallout for Hope with Wes Johnson, and they write them and they cast them, and then we all get to actually act like we're doing a radio play. It's so much fun. And Wes has so many awesome friends that he brings on that some of the people really sound like they're right out of the radio plays of yesteryear. It's so cool. And I wish that we did more of them. It'd be cool. I think like I think I a long time ago I saw them doing casting for radio plays and stuff, but maybe in my neck of the woods I just don't get as many auditions.
It's like, oh man, I would love to do more radio plays. Bring radio plays back. That's that's something we need as a society right now more than ever.
I think it would be good because people aren't watching the screen. They want to hear a story and they want to be, well, at least me, I want to be babysat by something while I scroll or do my dishes. But the radio plays are cool because you really don't have to look, it's all in your head. So I think it'd be I don't know, it would be a good direction to go to with our attention spans and not paying attention.
Yeah, definitely. I also wanted to ask, like, how do you balance your work and personal life?
It all is just kind of mushed into one. Voiceover was always something that I did with my friends and my family, and like, not always good that I did, but I always did stupid voices around the house. And I don't know, that's how I practice. Like, if there's a new stupid character I like, I'll do that for a month or two till I get bored of it and everyone has to suffer in the house. And so that in that regard it kind of blends over, but I don't know. Voiceover, whenever Hollywood calls, I hop up and run.
And another thing I want to talk about, you mentioned that before I forget, because my memory is like getting worse every day now, and because my
Me
brain is.
too. It's bad now.
You mentioned that you worked on Bugs Bunny Builders and Petunia Pig,
Yeah.
and that's an interesting case because the current voice of Petunia Pig is Candy Milo.
Kenny
So
Milo.
what's the story behind that?
I don't know, but I was grateful. Like I said, they throw out the auditions, and even with the Bugs Bunny characters, they send out auditions every time. I know that we think that it should be this person, or like it's always Candy, or it's always Bob Bergen, but they make us audition for it every single time. And maybe not for Bugs and Daffy anymore. I don't know. I don't know. It seems like I always see them auditioning for it because they want to see. More than likely, they'll pick the person that has been doing it, but maybe you bring something else to the game for this particular show, and you never know. The Warner Brother gods blessed me that day.
Because I know that, and we also talked about this in the previous recording, but you auditioned for the Earth the day blew up, but you didn't get it.
Yeah,
Candy got it.
I know. I really wanted it. I thought that would have been cool. But, you got to let things go. But yeah, I like playing Petunia. She was fun. And it was fun to work with Mary again. It was the Warner Brother team was a blast, and the writers that they'd have in. And it was a cute, fun thing to do. And I wish they did some more, but I was like, oh, do I get to be Petunia now? No, I have to audition, and it's gonna go to Candy. I expect it to go to her, to be honest.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the Tiny Toons reboot because I had assumed that when they announced that Lola Bunny was going to be there, I assumed like Chandini was going to be Lola going forward, but nope, it's Kari Walgren, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Oh, it was Kari. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Kari's the shit. Well, they both are, but in your heart of hearts, you want it to be Tress and Charlie, but they doesn't. With the reboots, it feels like they want to rebrand them completely. Like with the Powerpuff Girls, they're just like new chicks, which is sad for the original actors, but that's what they do.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, you can't really complain about it. But I mean, for me, I think what gets me is like the fact that you guys are still auditioning for these legacy characters when it's like, just pick one actor and have them do the thing forever, until they get old or
Nope.
whatever.
I think they do that for like Minnie when they needed a new Minnie. Unfortunately, the auditions went out, and I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be the same chick forever now. that, but I don't find that to be the same for all studios. Like, I think Candy also did Oblina for a few of the other Real Monster things. So yeah, she's usually the one that books it. I know she always is it Witch Hazel from Warner Brothers? I always audition for that one, and I know it's always gonna be her, but I try anyway.
But that's the fun thing about voiceovers. Like, sometimes that they're going to give it to Candy Milo, but you're going to give your take anyway because it's like, fuck it, might as well.
Yep, yep, yep. You might as well try. If your agent sends you the audition, you might as well try, even if you don't think that you can do it. If you are able to, you should try, because you really don't know. I got Goosebumps that way too. Another thing I did with Piotr, they had it was for Goosebumps 2. They needed monster voices. I was completely not prepared. I sent it in. I think my agent Heather was like, "Yeah, I didn't expect you to get this one either," but I tried anyway, and I felt underprepared. There were too many rad people there. There was like Steve Bloom, Piat, and the Crypt Keeper. It was so scary. That I like when the director told me, okay, this character should growl, I was like, well, can I do this other thing? Because I forgot how to growl, and that it haunted me for years. Why didn't you just growl, bitch? Why? And so even if you think you're not prepared, you should go try anyway. And now when I see Piat, and if I ever complain about that, like, oh, I sucked so bad, he doesn't even remember. He doesn't care. Maybe the director remembers how crap I was, but Piat didn't.
It's one of those moments where he just like turned to the camera and be like, hey, can you fucking believe this bullshit right here?
Oh, god damn. Some of the times I felt like I was, just treading water, but it doesn't turn out that bad if you go in and just try.
And out of all the characters you voiced, which one would you say was the toughest?
The toughest? Gosh. I don't know. Limon and Ollie was kind of hard just because they were rewriting it as we were going, and and I didn't know what I was doing, so that was sincerely tough. I don't know. I usually have a good time. Watch, after we get off this call, I'll remember and be like, oh, that sucked. But at the moment, I can only think of good times.
Because you also voice Chef Pat on the Loud House, and that's not a fun. I can't imagine that's a fun voice to do for an hour for 4 hours.
Oh, it's okay. She's only in it a little bit. Chef Pat, next, get your food, leave. They never. It's such a quick character that it doesn't really hurt my throat. But I guess I worked on Lego City. I think it's called Lego City Adventures for a couple years, and I was Shirley Keeper. I was not a lunch lady. I was a trash driver, or a trash person, sanitation worker. And she talked like that the whole time. And I guess after a while, it would, it'd be like, oh, I need a break. But I just usually push through.
Wasn't Mighty Ones a bit tough as well? Because she was a Barry thing. I think it was. I don't remember that show.
No, I loved Barry. So her voice was kind of like this, and she was really stupid. And wow, what a fun cast. We started working on it right before we went into COVID. So there were a few times I got to go in there and work with the other actors. I think there was even one time Jimmy Tataro, I always forget his last name. Jimmy Tataro. He was there too. I was tripping. So I got to work with them for real for a few times, and that one was also directed by the same person who did like Baby Shark's Big Show. And I don't know, it wasn't that. I feel like the hardest part for me is the audition, because you don't know what they want completely. They might want to tweak the voice. You don't know if you're going to get it or not. You're putting yourself out there. So that is the worst part for me. After that, I know that I'm like the horse they're betting on. So they think I can do the job if I've gotten hired. So a lot of my fears go away once I get the go ahead, because I know that they like what I'm doing, They like something, and maybe we can mess with it enough to make it perfect for them. The Mighty Ones was a pleasure from beginning to end. I wish it didn't end. I thought it was hilarious. And you can't see it because it's over there in my house, but I have a big Mighty Ones poster on my wall, and at the rap party. I got everyone to sign it, and it's really special to me. I love it.
I think the problem with that show was that they had just dumped it at a time when they shouldn't have just dumped it randomly. I'm like, it was COVID. Everyone was stuck at home. Promote this. Like, just take a chance on it. But they just dumped it randomly. I was like, oh, there you go.
Yeah, and they don't really, it feels like they don't promote things much anymore. They, you kind of, I don't know. You got to catch it before they end it, right? I think at that same time they were working on Animaniacs, and they had a few cartoons that I thought were going strong, like the Mighty Ones too, and we got the pull. So that's what happens. I think they even had more planned for the Mighty Ones, but we never got that next season.
Yeah, I mean, it was Animaniacs. I mean, Glitch Text was another one I wish that they had done more of, but they're like, oh, we'll just dump this on Netflix. Who cares? I'm like,
Was that during the Hulu Disney thing going on? That could have been why. They do behind the scene things, and then they decide, we don't like this anymore, or it takes too much money. Well, we need something the same but different.
yeah, I was really shocked when they announced like, oh, we're gonna cancel TMNT and Dora, and I'm like, why? I was like, oh, because we want to focus on more stuff, and I'm like, oh god,
I know, right? I would have thought Dora would have gone a little bit longer, just because it's an established show, and they went through all the trouble of bringing her back. But no, sadly not. It was pretty cute and fun to work on. Same with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I just would have assumed that would have been like a home run most times, just because of the built-in audience.
yeah, crazy that we're living in a time where like TMNT, like one of the most beloved franchises of all time, is only getting like 2 seasons. It's just like, come on, guys, come on.
Yeah, yeah. Well, corporations buy other corporations, and then new people come in, and their priorities are different, or they don't know what they want. They want to shake it up. So it just leaves us kind of uncertain about where they're going with things, right? It's kind of a scary time.
Yeah, especially for like something like the Loud House, which has been around for like 10 years now. And now it's like, oh, we got these new people in and we don't know what's going to happen with that show. And I'm like, but it's been around for 10 years. It's like the second most popular show on your channel. Like, why is there any
Yeah.
doubt that you're having doubts about it now? It's like, it's crazy to me.
That Yeah, I haven't read any of those doubts yet. They don't have. I'm not in it very much, but I would find it hard to believe that they would cancel it, since it's their second biggest show, and they just came out with another movie for them. They were on another vacation one, right? So I don't think we're. I don't think we're in danger of losing the Louds, but never say never.
And weird thing about that as well. I mean, Santa Claus voiced by Piotr Michael in that, and I wouldn't have guessed. It's like just a chameleon.
Yeah, yeah, you should hear his Ray Romano. It's really good. I think he also does. He does everything. I've stalked his YouTube when I first met him and saw him do all the different voices and stuff. He really is incredible. And he does it quickly. I was working with him on Goosebumps too, and they were like, "Yo, Piat, okay, we need you to match this dude." And he listens to it a couple times and can change his voice. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I remember interviewing him a couple of years ago when his career was just taking off. I mean, I think it was like 2019, so pre-pandemic, and he would just like, because if you listen to him talk, he's very like, very straight faced and very serious, but then he'll just like go into like he'll pull out a voice out of nowhere, and I'm like, What?
Yeah, that came out of you. And he likes tiki. He's very quirky. No, I'm joking. I think he does like tiki. For some reason, I think he's told me that.
And speaking of your co-stars, do you still keep up with anybody in the business?
Well, I had to move away. I had a grandma that needed someone to live with her. So I'm not really in the LA mix at the moment. But yeah, there's people I will see and hang out with if I'm in town. I've always been pretty close with animators though too because I went to school with them. So one of my best friends is she works on the other side as a drawer.
Yeah, so you must hang out with a lot of storyboard artists and see them like draw a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I love it. I love drawing and I like storyboards and I think it's amazing what she does and what stamina to be able to sit there and create that world, right? Yeah, I'm not very flash Hollywood to be honest. You got to ask other people if you want to hear Mark Hamill stories. I only have one, but it's kind of stupid.
I mean, I don't think it'll ever beat Corey Burton's Mark Hamill's story where Mark showed up to a session, and Corey was like, "Oh, you're doing something for Clone Wars," and he's like, "I don't know, man, I don't know." And Corey's like, he just looked at him and said, "Mark, you're Luke fucking Skywalker. You're welcome anytime." So, and he just like pulled him in, and he's like, told Dave Filoni like, get him work, have him do something on the show.
Oh, that's really cool. That's so cool. Oh, I wonder if what studio was it at? Was it Studiopolis? Probably. I just always guess them.
No, I mean
That's so cool.
that was Clone Wars days, and I think that was like the Warner Brothers lot or Lucasfilm. I don't
Oh,
know.
got it. Sometimes what they'll do is the big studios will have a little studio record it. I don't know why, but they do that. Like I've recorded DreamWorks stuff. DreamWorks mostly for television, we'd record at other studios, not at the DreamWorks lot. That I always found they reserved for like the movie stuff.
Oh, and before I forget, you're also in Dreams on Netflix. You voiced a grandma on that, so Nightmare Grandma. So there you go.
Oh, actually, yeah, I was Nightmare Grandma. I was also a bunch of background monster noises. And I went full circle, and Piotr was there too. It was one of the very first jobs I got to do outside of COVID. We all got to show up and sit at the same table without a mask. It was very novel. And I felt like I did a lot better on that one than Goosebumps too. I didn't forget to growl. But one of the characters that like was more than I guess just background, I guess they kept in a scary grandma. I gotta check it out.
And before I wrap this up, because we're it's almost 2 hours now, and I know that I know you got to be
Oh,
somewhere, so yeah, so so.
I gotta
But
feed the dog.
but yeah, before we wrap this up, can you give us an update on what you're currently working on and where can people find you online?
Ooh, well, I don't go online much, but I have a convention coming up, so there might be some new info on Instagram at Alex_E_Cazares. And I don't want to give any deets because I don't know if I'm allowed to yet, but I have a convention coming up in a couple months. Gosh, see, I've been working on stuff, but I can't tell you. I got a really cool part in a pretty prominent video game franchise I was working on. I can't tell you much but I'm excited. And there was something in a big studio I was working on, which blew my mind. But I can't tell you, and I don't know if it'll last because of how everything's been getting canceled or not. That's what sucks. I wish I could just say it. hey, I'm working on, but they'll get you in trouble. They'll say, we'll just get someone else. But hopefully in a couple months or maybe a year, I'll get to announce all these special cool things I've been working on. A couple big video games, a couple big TV series things, and maybe even a movie. But we won't know for a while.
So 2027,
What a
2028.
non-answer. I'm sorry.
2027, 2028. It's going to be your year.
Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, you know what? You do so much stuff that you kind of forget about it, and it'll eventually get done, and you won't even realize it. You forgot all about it. So there might be more stuff that pops up more or sooner, but I don't remember because you don't know. They don't tell you. It just comes when it does.
All right. Thank you so much for taking the time off to do this. I mean, we had to reschedule this because I messed up on the original recording. But yeah, thanks so much. And hopefully we'll stay in touch. And, if you ever want to hang out and just talk about whatever, you can, where to find me.
For sure. Talking tunes. Well, I think that's a different podcast. But yeah, chatting about cartoons is fun, right?
Yeah. Okay.